We'd like to welcome you all for the Tech Factor podcast by Purple Quarter. So here's again, we've got another woman leader in the house, and this is Neha Gupta. Thank you so much, Neha, for doing this with us.
Thank you, Roopa, for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. So Neha, for a lot of people who don't know you, and for those audiences who probably getting to know Neha for the very first time, just like to give a little bit of info about what you've done. So you completed your IIT BHU and then moved on to Infosys, Pramati for a fair bit, stayed with SAP Successfactors for a very long stint, and then moved to Gameskraft. This has been your career journey. And for most people, especially coming from a search firm, I'd like to tell you that they would love your profile because you've had very few stints all over. And one important piece I wanted to check with you is you've moved so many different domains, right? I'd like to just pick on the last two. You moved from a human capital management kind of a platform into a gaming domain, completely two different domains, right? One which is very close to us because that's what we do, and second, we are completely unaware, we are caught unawares that you've moved to a different domain. How did this happen, and why did you make this choice?
Okay. To begin, I joined Success Factors when they were just starting their operations in India. So that time, laying the foundation right was the key.
Okay.
So what we worked on was building a core module which handles employee and organization data, and it connects all the Success Factors modules which are part of the suite together. So it's like heart of Success Factors. So that was the like initial days we were building that, and over the years we created or built those modules and enhanced experience for the enterprise customers.
Sure.
And while the work was going on well there, an interesting opportunity, I'll say, came for working with Gameskraft,
Okay.
which is what is in gaming domain. So we are a gaming company. So let me add a bit of perspective why I joined that domain.
Sure.
So as the what I can say, like in these days, like gaming is one of the most important technology sector. I mean, it's the most innovative in technology sector right now. So the term entertainment, which we usually associate with movie, television, all these industries, now gaming is also part of it in providing a lot of immersive experience to billions of people around the world.
Sure.
And the scale at which it operates, the real-time experience it generates, I think that is quite interesting, and that is a big turn on for me to join this industry. Uh, so here the technology moves very fast. Time to market is also very fast. I mean, the same day you are building, the same day you deploy, and you get instant feedback and you redeploy and keep on enhancing the experience of user. So that is pretty interesting and challenging.
Sure.
So that is why I joined this or started with this domain.
Sure. So I think you joined them when Gamescraft was really small, right? That also creates a bit of a question that a lot of people who move from bigger companies into startups, I'm sure you had your series of questions you'd have asked before you moved. Were there any that you can talk about from a tech perspective that you asked questions before you got in? Because you did say that, gaming requires you to be instant, right? And can I call it instant gratification as well?
Yes, it's like
In a
instant
format,
grat-
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So how did you make, how did this come to you? Were there anything that you evaluated? Did you see how the tech was built, or were you going to be building something? What stage did you get in?
So when I was evaluating moving into Gamescraft, so there were multiple interesting technology aspects that are used in gaming. So what picked me really was how gameplay works, where millions of people are playing simultaneously in that environment, and it has to have massive scalability and work at like a real-time system at huge concurrency. So that is what technology stacks should be used to handle such concurrency. And then there are like numerous or thousands of real-time microtransactions. You are dealing with cash. So there is add cash, there is withdrawal, there is game settlement that is happening real time.
Right.
How to create these stable systems which users or the players can trust and onboard on the platform. So these were certain aspects which I tried. I mean, I was very interested in jumping into these and build these systems where and you the instant gratification part that we already talked. I mean, you build something, you release it to the users, and you get an instant feedback.
Sure, sure.
I'll also like to add one
Yeah,
more
please.
thing. So at the scale which Gameskraft was, we were looking at growing to like multi-X scales from that time. So joining the team at that time and building, you get to work from start, from building, creating the excellent engineering team that we have currently from the product. A lot of product features are new, a lot of game features are new. The platform that we are creating, I mean, at that stage, I mean, it was pretty interesting.
Right, right. So if we can actually look at a time when Gamescraft began, it was 5 years ago. That's when you
Yeah.
guys started, and in between we all went through this period of COVID, right? 2 years. From a tech perspective, did that change anything for Gamescraft? Did the scale go up? People working remotely, you are managing a large team. How did it work for you?
Yeah. So yes, there were challenges and there were good things as well. So
Okay,
we saw a lot of traffic coming on to the gaming platforms that
sure.
time. So we had a certain organic growth. It was pretty good. But with the pandemic and people having more time to spend, so that got exponentially increased, I'll say. So
Right.
growth that we, in terms of player onboarding, I mean, that was one thing that the system should work at scale and they should be stable and reliable. So that, and other challenge was the team was remote,
Right.
and you need to maintain these systems.
Sure.
So, but it worked pretty well with us. I mean, because we had a connect working together.
Correct.
And a lot of hiring as well we did in COVID to expand the team.
Sure.
But with the right set of, so there is one philosophy that we follow at Gamescraft, that you should have right clarity of execution. I mean, you should be clear with your communication. So that is inbuilt. I mean, from it's from start that you get to. So there is another thing that I like to add, like with the meetings, with anything you are trying to discuss and close on. So the rule is you close it in couple of meetings. If it's taking more than 2 meetings, then either you have to scrap that idea or you need to escalate it to get it resolved. So you have to. So to achieve that, the team has to have clarity. A lot of background work has to be done before coming into those meetings and having some productive work.
Got it. Got it.
So yeah, those were the times.
Okay. Has it changed now since we are all back to being in a normal zone? From COVID to now, we're all in the office. The two of us as well are in the office, right? So has it changed in terms of scale, or do you still see the growth going the same direction from a tech standpoint?
Yes, I think from the tech standpoint, we are continuously innovating and putting in effort to have reliable systems, provide excellent customer experience. So another rule that we follow is that everything needs to be thought top down from the customer's perspective. So
Right.
that's a customer first approach that we follow, and technology is at heart of it. So you get a problem, think about a problem, and think of the solutions. How good use you can. How the technology can put in good use to solve that problem efficiently.
Sure. So I'm sure a lot of people understand gaming, but real money gaming becomes slightly more complicated, right? Because I love the fact that you say that your cash is involved and you'll have to really, as soon as I come in, the first thing I'm doing is I'm paying. This is not like the Amazon or the Google Pays of the world where I look at everything and then I check out with at the end, right? So how complicated that it does it make to technology? Because you said customer first. You use the right terminologies. So how much does it go behind scene for you guys to make sure that people are not losing anything in this entire piece?
Uh, so yes, real money gaming is like any other financial app in terms of the transactions that we are handling. They have to be secure, they have to be reliable, and there are a lot of micro transactions happening. As I mentioned, I think earlier, like when you are playing a game, you put money in the system. That is an ad cash. Then you pay some entry fee or buy-in to play that game.
Correct.
And then when the settlement, after you have played, settlement happens, and then the right calculation need to trigger to credit the right amount of the winnings or to the users, bonuses, winnings to the user. And then you have withdrawal system. So this end to end has to work seamlessly. So a lot of effort has gone from the tech aspect to have reliable, stable systems to handle scale with massive concurrency. Again, I am repeating that because that is pretty important in this aspect. So there are mostly three aspects where technology plays important role. One is providing seamless real-time gameplay experience. Second is having a trust and safe platform for the players to play, because as I mentioned earlier, that real money is involved in this. Third is having right data insights so that we can provide a customized, personalized experience to a user. Plus, it also helps team evaluate or get rightful insights to build the system that the customer wants.
Sure.
So for seamless gameplay experience, so there are multiple factors that you need to take into consideration and build on top of it. One is when I mentioned real-time experience, in traditional systems, like if a page loads in a couple of seconds, it's considered pretty good.
Correct.
But in gaming, when you are in a game, you have to work till the level of microseconds. Seconds, no, but sub-seconds is what you optimize for. So the communication layer that is between the client and server, the latency should be optimized. How much data you are transferring and what data you are transferring is also critical. So you have to optimize till the byte.
Wow.
So what amount, what is the size of data you are transferring to have minimal latencies. Then the client, it's not about backend servers only being like stable, secure, and working at scale, but the clients are also smart. You have to optimize them for handling low internet or low bandwidth issues or
Correct.
flaky internet.
Right.
And then the battery optimization is another aspect that the clients have to handle and work efficiently. And third aspect is how quickly they are rendering. There are a lot of micro animations and the state of the game that needs to be rendered. You are getting messages in milliseconds, and the clients have to be smart enough to render it properly to have the seamless gaming experience.
Wow. It looks very easy and simple from the outside, when you are actually playing any of these games. With what you're telling me, it requires a lot more effort at each stage through technology to power this at whatever, stage that you're in terms of scale, because there are multiple players on the platform at the same time. Do I read you correctly?
Yes, I think you are correct. So there is a lot of complex systems which drive the seamless experience.
Sure.
So there are game servers to handle the gameplay. There are financial transaction systems which handle your ad cash withdrawal. Then there is a lot of user data that is handled by other systems. And also I like to mention their trust and safety factor. So you have to build those systems who can process rules at real time to generate any or realize any fraudulent patterns based on how the users are or players are using the app, what are the gameplay patterns. So these rules, numerous rules run on this data to generate rightful insights and enable the system to take action.
Sure. So data sciences also becomes an important function for a gaming domain.
Yeah, definitely. I think data science is pretty critical in powering the systems or giving us rightful insights on the gameplay.
Sure.
And as I mentioned, like personalized experience to the users. You have game recommendations. You have personalized offers for the user. So data science and algorithm is also equally important for this aspect.
Sure.
And if I say, like, when I mentioned the fraud prevention and control systems, so they are also using a lot of models to create the right kind of rules and patterns.
Right, right. How does the tech org really function at Gamescraft? Do you guys work in agile pods? Because I think there is a requirement where you strongly interact with the business and the product teams. That's what, as you're discussing, that's what's coming up in my head. Is that right? Or is it like a separate team? And
No. So it's organized in, like, there is a technology team. So every vertical, when I say vertical, like, we have multiple games. So each game has their own tech team, and there are product teams, marketing teams, and these teams work together to achieve or to deliver whatever is required by the users.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Neha, could you talk about anything that there would be any new tech advancements that you guys would have incorporated within the gaming domain? If you seemed excited when you moved from one domain to the other. So could you talk about anything new that you guys introduced into the market?
In terms of tech advancement, we have put in a lot of effort in building these robust systems, and a lot of new initiatives have also come in, like I'll say like instant withdrawals. I mean, started, there were not any app that was giving, in gaming at least, instant same day withdrawals to the users. We were the first ones to have that feature in our app.
Sure.
And then if I talk about the kind of support that was being offered to the players, so we were the first ones to have 24/7 on-call support.
Oh, nice.
Where our players could, so that is also part of the trust that you are building. I mean, if you face a problem, if you have any query, you can pick up a phone and reach out to our customer service executive and get that query answered. And the scale, I mean, the system, I've been talking about these systems, but we scale them to such a level that we now hold Guinness World Record for hosting the largest online rummy tournament.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. So where around 109,000 users, that is the exact number of players who were online same time.
Right.
And we didn't stop there. I mean, we have broken it multiple times after that, post that. So that is the scale and the technology, the aspect that we have worked on.
Sure. So I have one question on the instant withdrawal. So what was it before? Was it not instant for players?
Yeah. So that time, and what the player has to do, they raise a withdrawal request, and the withdrawal will be processed, I think, in couple of days, 3 days, 5 days, some tag that was defined.
Sure.
But it was not instant or same day.
Okay.
So first we started with same day withdrawals, like you raise a request and same day, within certain hours, you will get your amount in the bank account. And the second, I mean, now we have moved it to instant. I mean, it's like in seconds you can get your withdrawal amount processed.
That's excellent. So when, the new tech advancements that we were discussing, so you're saying that these were a few things which are not there and you guys bought it in, right? Would metaverse mean anything to you guys? Because everyone's talking about this buzzword and with gaming as the main domain. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the concept of metaverse, I think it's been there for decades. There were a lot of sci-fi movies or the books or game built on that.
Sure.
And what I feel that gaming sector is has played an important role of pushing metaverse in general, general public,
like
or
me
making
talking about it,
or having
Sure.
that awareness. Because if you see in metaverse, I mean, it's a virtual reality. You have a real world, and a lot of video games, if you see, they have their own worlds, and they provide immersive experience. So it's like, I'll say, building blocks of metaverse are already there. You have VR, AR, and blockchain technology. So these are all the building blocks of metaverse, and definitely, like, gaming is one of the sector which I think it's a bigger player to enter this space or give users those immersive experience. So we are looking into this space,
Sure.
But I'll say it is not the right time to comment on it.
Right. All right. So we look forward to seeing what you guys launch on Metaverse. I will not hold you to it on this question. So moving along, I wanted to understand from you that I'm sure there are a lot of people who are, especially the millennials, are more interested in gaming industry, with a lot of things picking up around gaming domain. What are few things that you would like to share if they want to come and join Gameskraft, at the junior engineering level or even at mid and senior level as well? What are your thoughts? What are few things that you'd like to share with them?
Okay. So first of all, what I believe, I mean, if you're joining gaming or any technology sector, so you have to be a good engineer, not just a good coder.
Okay.
So you have to think of a problem holistically and provide end-to-end solution for it. You have to consider a lot of aspects while building it, be it speed, the scale, security, how reliable it's, and what are you monitoring in that, the observability aspect of the systems.
Right.
So with the current technology trends that we see, I mean, so now there are a lot of technology advancements in the industry, and their adoption is very fast. So even the smaller teams, they are able to create high impact products or solutions. They are able to build high impact solutions. So I think it's a necessary skill for anyone joining a fast growing industry, to be able to think of solutions end to end and work as part of small team and bring that impact.
Okay.
And rest, I think the basics should be clear. I'm from old school, so you should understand the technology that you are using, understand how it works, and it's gonna help you in the long term.
Sure. Are you guys still hiring? I mean, can people, we'll leave your social handles, can they reach out to you? And
Sure, we are hiring big time.
Okay.
So there are a lot of openings in all the roles, be it technology, product, marketing, business, analyst, data science, on all the roles we are hiring
Okay.
aggressively.
Okay.
So yes, people can reach out to us.
All right, perfect. So I have something that, you know, personally that I talk about to a lot of founders that I like to bring up in this conversation. So generally, when we go scouting for CTOs or head of engineering, most founders ask for diversity, profiles, which means that which brings you the interest is you in the room, right? So when I look at your profile, Neha, you've never taken a break. You've had a long career, and you also have a 8-year-old, and you've managed not to take a break, which is one of the most important pieces that I picked up even in my previous discussion with Sonia, who was here as well, about women leaders, being strongly celebrated at one end, right? That, we should have more women leaders in the room. On the other hand, I would like to ask you, what has been your challenges during this journey of not having a break? I mean, I'm truly inspired by you that you are managing family and your profession so well. How did you go about, and what did you overcome?
Okay. So first, I like to say I don't think they are women leader or men leader.
Yeah.
They are just leaders.
Sure.
They need to have the same qualities
Right.
and guide the team in the same way.
Sure.
So as a woman, I think that biasness was not there in my head.
Okay.
So I didn't think of a way that's I have challenges, or there are certain roadblocks that will not help me grow even after marriage or after having child.
Right.
So my priorities were right, like I need to be able to contribute to the system I'm working in. So you can plan your day accordingly. I mean, there are times when your family needs your time, and there are times when you have to work at office and set or work on the priorities that are set for you, or you want to work on. So I think efficient management of time has helped me. Prioritizing it right has helped me. Like how whenever you are spending time with your kid, I mean, you have to have a quality time with the kid, so that both of you feel fulfilled, because then you also have that constant egging. Am I being right? I mean, am I giving right time to my kid, or am I helping her out in the things that she needs? So I think efficient management of time is one critical skill, and you don't have to be scared. So one is like when I see like a lot of people, they want to be in the comfort zone to handle both the responsibilities together. I think you have to come out of that comfort zone, put in some extra effort, and with the right support of the people around you, I think anything is possible.
Awesome. Awesome. That's really a lovely thought. I like the way you started that, there are no women and men leaders. I'll keep that thought going, and we'll probably use this as...
next time I think we should not talk about like women leaders.
Absolutely. I agree with you. It's more about skills than about person.
Yeah.
So, just even using this specific line, and I'm sure there are a lot of women who are getting into technology space, they're coming out from college. What is one piece of advice you'd like to give them? And the other piece that I wanted to check with you is any thoughts or any last words that you'd like to share for engineers, irrespective of men or women. What is one thing that they can look at if they were to join Gameskraft? So 2 different questions. One for women who are getting into tech. Second for anybody who wants to get into Gameskraft.
Okay. I think the advice is same for both women who are trying to get in tech, or there are other people who are trying to get in tech. I mean, you have to have your basics right. You are spending time, you are reading those concepts in college, have your basics right. Try to understand the technology that are using. Go in depth and put in some effort to understand the technology that are using. Because nowadays there are a lot of frameworks that you can... In olden days, you had to build from scratch the kind of platforms that you get today. So the technology has exploded in such fashion. So, but keeping the fundamentals right, your computer science fundamentals right, is what you should look forward to. And to the women as well, I mean, the biasness, I think, needs to be taken care of in your own mind.
Sure.
I think you have to think that way, that there is not a biasness, and you have to work hard, be it men or women, they have to work equally hard to reach the place they want to reach.
Sure.
You have to have the right skills to achieve that.
Right.
And the skills are same at that level. I mean, you need to have those skills, and if you are good enough, I think in technology, I think everything is fair. It's like mathematics. If you can bring in the right results, you are creating right systems, I think then who will overlook you, or in terms of growth or what you can achieve.
Wow, fantastic. Thanks so much for that thought, Neha. Would you like to add any more few words?
Yeah, for the, I think, last question I missed
Sure.
to answer, like what you can look out at Gamescraft. So what I can say, there are a lot of interesting technologies that we are working on, a lot of challenges to have real-time experience, to bring in real-time safe, trustworthy experience for our users that we are working on. And there are new technologies, it's gaming, so a lot of new technologies that we are working on, and you have to work from I think lower layers to top layer. When I say, like, when I mentioned, like, socket layer is one thing that you have to look into, data layer is another thing you have to look into, and then there's a client layer. So all the layers are important, and you get to do a lot of interesting work in this domain.
Sure.
And the people that you get to work with and learn a lot. So we have a lot of experience building these products that we have, the games that we are out in market. There is 5 years of learning and a lot of systems that we have created. So it will be interesting to be part of this.
Amazing. I wish I could go back in time and start, with technology and join you guys. It sounded so mesmerizing when you were speaking about the different pieces. So great stuff. Thank you so much, Neha, for being on this podcast. Really enjoyed speaking with you. I think one piece that we'll take with us before we wind up is how beautifully you spoke about we should not be looking at men or women. I think you strongly emphasized on how one needs to be solving for the basics. If our foundation is right, everything else will be taken care of. Thank you so much for those parting words.
Thank you for having me. It was great.
All right.
Thanks, Roopa.